Hello, guys. We are back. Episode 9 of Better with Jackson and Jordan.
Episode 9, yep.
Today we got a huge episode.
Yep.
Jackson's really excited for it.
Yeah,
He's so pumped.
We've got a 10-minute episode coming right at you. We were off social media this week as much as we could.
And so, yeah, okay. We've not done a verse battle this time, so we both did the same thing. And it's kind of a lack of content, I guess, because we just we don't know what happened.
Before every podcast, we go for a walk and get a coffee, and usually we can like sort of get a rough idea of how much we have to talk about. Doesn't seem like there was much today. So,
but should we get into it?
Yeah.
With what it was
I wrote
like.
down some notes.
Okay, you
Let
start
me
us
read
off. I've also got some notes. So yeah, we both tried to stay off. Well, for me, it was like no going on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube stuff.
So day one was the hardest.
Mm.
Here's what I wrote: absent-mindedly failed. I scrolled.
What did you scroll on?
Instagram for about 30 seconds. Then I realised what
And
I was
you
doing.
realised?
Yeah. Then I did that again. And then I put my phone in my room.
Oh, that's smart. Just get it out of there.
Get rid of it.
That's smart.
And then I'm just going to walk you through my week.
The whole week?
Yeah.
Here
so
we
the
go.
weekend was easy because I was busy.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I was busy also, so it just didn't look at it. Probably wouldn't have looked at it much anyway. So that was good.
Yeah.
Before that, once I got it out of my system, honestly, I didn't really go to it. I think I caught myself once after that first day scrolling.
Oh, first day you were in the clear.
First day I got a lot, and then after that I was fine other than one time.
Did you notice any... we'll talk about that after.
Yeah,
I'll go through...
Talk us through what happened to you, George.
Quick rapid fire through mine. So I also did the same thing day one where I was just on the toilet. It was a classic. On the toilet, I just popped open Facebook and I was like, oh wow. I was like, someone I went to high school with, brother, won a bunch of medals at the Olympics.
Oh,
he's
who
like
was
an
it?
Olympic athlete. The cycling guy.
Oh yeah.
Something Richardson would have been his name.
Respect
I
to
think.
Richardson.
And I was like, oh wow, and I went to just like the post, and then I realized
that's where it triggered.
I freaked out. Unliked the post and turned off my phone.
Can't have Jackson knowing about this.
Yeah, I literally was like, and I unliked it out of like fear, and then turned off my phone.
Yeah,
but it was like. Yeah, it's like I just didn't even know that I was thinking about it, which is kind of
It's weird when
crazy.
your brain catches you doing it. You're like, oh, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, it's like your unconscious brain just did it all. And then I was like, I came into play and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Dislike.
Took back over. The dislike's funny.
I didn't hit dislike. Is that even a thing on Facebook? I don't know, but I unliked out of fear. I also messed up on Tuesday though as well. On Thursday, the next day. After I streamed, I automatically opened Twitter.
Right.
I noticed the times when I do it is when I'm a bit tired. Like after I stream, I'm like, oh, there you go. That's the end of that. And then I just wanted to relax, I guess. And I just automatically opened Twitter. And I was like, God damn it. And for me, that was kind of similar. That was about it. The next day I went to check Twitter again just in moments when I was bored, and then I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Log out of Twitter. Get me away. Twitter was the one that kept getting me for some reason.
I uninstalled Twitter, pretty much everything except for Instagram on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I use Instagram.
But then this was the bad part actually. It was on Thursday, I was like, so I finished streaming and I was went on Twitter and I was like, oh no, I got to get out of here, change my environment. So I was like, I'm just going to relax in my bedroom. And then we started looking at YouTube Shorts on my phone.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really look at Shorts too often. So I somehow backpedaled.
Your brain needed something.
I backpedaled into Shorts, and the Shorts actually hooked me big time.
Oh man, the short form content is so addictive.
I think I was looking at Shorts for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was
that goes by like that with Shorts.
Yeah. I was like, oh no. And then I was good after that. But I backpedaled big time where I was like, oh no, I don't want to go on Twitter. Let's do something else. And then the Shorts got me and they kept me. They kept me hard. Wait. Anyway,
what Shorts were you watching?
Day 4. Yeah, same for me on the weekend. Pretty easy to not go on because I was actually doing stuff and hanging out with Holly. And yesterday, by that time, I was also pretty good. Although I did have a cheeky look at the Supernova Smash tournament because I was like, I got to watch that. So I don't know if that counts as a fail, but I was like, I got to watch that.
Yeah, medium fail.
So yeah,
It's good. The summary.
that was a summary.
It's going to surprise no one that it feels good to not go on social media. It does feel like a waste of time looking at reels and shorts.
Yeah.
Speaking of reels and shorts, follow me on Instagram.
And I'll hook you in. What was the what do you not miss the most from your week of
Twitter
social media?
easily, but I kind of don't go on that much anyway. But when I do, I always feel terrible.
Yeah, that's the exact same thing for me. But Twitter is the one that gets me the most as well because it's so easy to look at.
Yeah.
I think is the problem with it.
Instagram is like the most addictive for me. Like I can spend an hour
See, I don't
on
have
Reels.
Instagram.
Yeah, it's a classic, I think. That one's the worst. So I just would not go on Reels, but I would check it sometimes for like messages and stuff.
Yeah.
But I limited it to that, not doing Reels.
That's smart. Yeah, I didn't miss Twitter at all. In fact, it's just great not looking at Twitter.
Yeah.
Because Twitter, I don't know how Twitter gets you so good. It's like anytime I look at it, it's like, that was negative. It's just like, because there's always the potential that you find something.
Yeah, but that's the same. Like if you got Instagram, you'd find that scrolling it.
Yeah, that's true.
And once what's it called? The algorithms figured out what you like, you're dead.
Yeah, it's
You're
really good at that.
Yeah, then once they figure that
it's
out,
so specific as well. I remember, I think I talked about this once before, but it was ages ago because I didn't have TikTok, but I went on Holly's TikTok and it was obviously very for her. I can't remember what it was showing me. And then I think within a couple of minutes, suddenly it had changed to like UFC stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy how far, like minutes it went straight from Holly. Like Holly never watched UFC stuff and it was like converted into like, oh, okay.
We've figured it
out. In a
out.
couple of minutes it worked me out, which is
they've got algorithms
really
down.
crazy.
Yep. They know how to hook you in.
Oh, you actually know something very interesting I heard about recently was like
where'd you hear about this?
They're on a podcast. Oh, I still did podcasts.
Podcasts are okay.
I was like, that's all right.
You're back
right?
to podcasts, don't worry, I was back to music big time.
So what I've done,
back to Dr. K.
What I've implemented though, I don't listen to anything until like after 4 p.m.
Oh,
that's my
strat. A new change.
That's a change. Because here's the thing, it's like didn't want to cut podcasts out at all, but then if you don't have any rules around that kind of stuff, I feel like your brain like
rules are
it.
important. Have you got to that part in Atomic Habits, which you're reading now?
No, I haven't.
There's a rules element.
Yeah, I think that's very important.
They talk about something about this is going to be good. My vague memory of it. But people that committed to doing exercise every day at 12 compared to I will exercise more and how much more they stuck to it when they had a strict time.
Yeah. I like doing that as well.
So I think that's an important one.
Because I understood that definitely with like things that you want to do.
Yeah.
But things that you want to do that are bad and you kind of don't want to do it. Does that make any sense? Like, say video games. Fun. No, they are fun, and you're
interesting.
I wouldn't want to never do it. I wouldn't want to never listen to a podcast.
But only after
I'll
4.
listen now.
Yeah,
and
right.
but it's like I have the rule after 4 p.m. and then it feels like you earned it a bit more and it's a bit better. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, what I heard. Like they've also started algorithmically giving people certain comments. For example,
oh wow,
woman watches video about. I can't remember what the example was. It was like husband. It was like a TikTok of a woman being like, "Oh, my husband didn't acknowledge me" or something.
Right.
And in the comments, when the woman looked at it, it's like, oh, "That guy's a piece of shit. Fuck that." And then she sends it to her boyfriend, like, "Haha, look at this." And then his comments are like,
wow,
"Fuck that bitch." Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's like even now they figured out algorithmic comments.
I can't believe that's true.
That's pretty scary.
So
hey?
they know what comments you're gonna like based on your gender and age
yeah, because like already you kind of know like they usually. I remember this was a really big thing with Andrew Tate. It was like men would always get like the Andrew Tate side of like, you can do it, you're a man, be positive, keep pushing. And then any women would get Andrew Tate being like, why are women driving?
Yeah,
and then it's just like women being like, why the fuck do you like Andrew Tate? And guys being like, he's an inspiration.
I have kind of noticed there's a big like gender divide on social media.
It's so bad.
How do I say this in the correct way?
Anyways, yeah, very divisive, very divisive.
Divisiveness is a trend on social media for sure.
Yeah, they worked that out big time.
They know how to because it's engaging to be against each other.
It's engaging to be on a team
Yeah.
and be better. That's why sports is the best.
Sports is the best.
Keep it to sports, guys.
Yeah, keep it to sports, not race, age, gender.
Yeah.
My grandmother talks a lot about how her algorithm is just about how the young people are the worst.
Oh, interesting.
But she doesn't talk about algorithms or anything. She just says, all you see on social media. And I'm like, yeah, that's what they give you because you're engaging with that. Because she fights them. She's like...
Oh, wow. She's on
there commenting.
Because if she's commenting, they're going to give it to her
Oh,
more.
yeah. And she's like, no, young people are not too bad like this. And so that's what she gets a lot of. And she's like, that's all that's on social media.
A big change needs to happen. Because it's
won't.
only getting worse.
If it's too easy for these social media platforms.
Not in China. Maybe I'm coming around.
China was onto something.
Maybe I'm coming around.
Well, we just lost about sort of 3-4 minutes of our 12-minute podcast, so...
No, that was kind of good. Maybe you can put in the clip.
Maybe I'll just beep it out. I'm not putting a clip of them saying the N-word in our podcast.
That's a fair point. Oh, no, it's really bad. Yeah, no social media. It's the go. The only social media that I think was good is like YouTube. Twitter, I was like, there's no point of me ever looking at this.
YouTube's not really social media, I wouldn't say.
What's it called then?
Entertainment. Like watching TV. Just different form.
True. Yeah, I reckon the social media stuff needs to stick to being like, I use this so I can message friends.
Yeah.
Like Facebook, I only keep it Messenger and people make events.
Yeah.
But then I freaking look at it and they've got shorts on there now.
Well, I'm using Instagram for like posting my stuff. Is a big reason I have it. But otherwise, I don't. I try not to go on it. But God, it's so easy to hook in. I feel like we're saying the same thing a lot of times here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be... Dude, because it's only going to get worse. Like, dude, call me communist.
Okay.
But China might be onto something.
Well, someone did right here. Jordan thinks that no freedom equals no sadness equals good. How do you respond? We need to start this episode again, by the way.
No. Okay, I think there's two ways to go about it. I think maybe, actually, the best way to go about it is that's what the education system needs to be about. And just be teaching kids, who gives a fuck about area under a curve? Teach kids about the dangers of how things affect your psychology and psychology. That's what I would be teaching at school. Yo, kids,
is gonna be
stay off social media. Did you guys know that it polarizes you and it puts you against each other?
Yeah, but they don't care about that.
I reckon they would. I reckon they would, because kids care big time nowadays about environmental health because they just get taught it in school. Because kids are like a sponge, you can teach them anything really. But if you grew up not caring about it,
but teaching them to like, it's too like environmental, right? Like what, taking shorter showers or something, for example.
Yeah,
turning off
something
lights.
like that. Yeah.
Do you think that gives them as much endorphins as watching Jake Paul throw a lemon at a wall or whatever?
No, but I think...
But like trying to teach them something that gives them so much endorphins is not good, is hard. Like lollies. It doesn't matter how much you teach kids about overindulging in lollies or fast food, they're still going to want fast food because it's so much endorphins. Teach them about the environment's easy because having a light on, they don't care. Being in a shower, they're not that excited about it.
Maybe parents need to get taught and kids, and then the parents can apply it. I reckon it's like the most important subject if social media stuff is going to grow, because it's getting
only
bad.
Getting bigger, yeah.
It's gotten really bad already, I reckon. What else are we going to talk about?
We've got, like I said, 15 minutes recording, but really, we've got... Maybe just cut in you just saying about the N-word and how China had it sorted.
I was like, beep, beep, beep. And then the N-word. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, dear, Jordan.
So, what would we recommend going not on social media to a viewer?
Completely. Get off it, except for watching my Instagram videos.
And the Underdogs. I think YouTube's the best. YouTube's the best one. Because YouTube actually has some really interesting stuff on there. But you got to stay off the shorts.
Yeah.
Stay off the shorts. I feel like shorts are bad. Oh, but they're pretty good.
It does kind of have...
companies.
YouTube with the shorts and like stuff like that, the comments is kind of a social media. Now I mention it. Whereas like watching a TV show, you don't see comments there. You go somewhere else and read them.
Yeah, well, YouTube's just a better version, right? It's like, have you seen that video where it's like all the newspaper headlines complaining about the youth that goes back to like the 500s?
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And it's just like when books came out,
Yeah.
People are like, I can't believe kids are just fucking reading books
Yeah.
instead of doing what they should.
Yeah.
And it's like, TV comes out, so it's a cycle, but I feel like it's an exponential cycle. We're getting to now that with technology, like it actually is getting really bad.
Algorithms know how to amplify anything.
Yes,
because if they can make you stay on TikTok or Instagram or whatever for an extra 2 minutes, they're going to do that.
But it'll slowly get worse. Like, what's next? What's next is probably in your fucking mind chip brain. You can just hit like non-stop orgasm.
That's what's next is mind chip brain. We're not even close to mind chip brain.
Yeah, they've already installed it in
but
someone.
everyone having one for instant orgasms, Jordan. I don't think that's what's next.
Okay, but that's the what's it called? That might be pinnacle.
That
we got to
does
watch
sound
out
like
for.
the worst. Because then what? No one would leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you have virtual reality that's as good as real life, and that's what we're in right now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a Patreon, what would I recommend?
Signing up.
Unsubscribing from Patreon.
No,
Get away!
Because
Run!
This episode's short, but on Patreon it's going to be nice and long.
And unedited and less dopamine.
Yeah, less dopamine.
And so it's better for you, actually. Is that if you want to look out for your health, sign up for Underdogs Patreon. And you get unedited versions. You get the real story. No.
And what did we do else? What else did we do?
Messing up.
Sorry, we did chess video recently. Today we're we're doing Brat or Scaring the Hose.
Oh, whatever the number one album is. Yeah, we're going to react to the number one album of this year. I don't know what
we should do
one
last year because it's going to change.
Okay, maybe last year.
2023's number one album on Rate Your Music is coming up, which is you're going to want to see.
Actually, another quick thing about how people edit stuff. You can probably cut this out of the video, but I think
we need anything to drag ourselves over the 20-minute mark.
Okay, so someone that
Do we start this again?
No. Someone that we know went on Married at First Sight.
Right.
And because they have to sign NDAs.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give anything away for anyone watching that is trying to kill this person or whatever they have in the NDA. NDA, you're not allowed to talk about that you've been on the show. Yeah. I knew that they edit it and manipulate it, but I didn't understand the level.
I've heard about it.
That they go to.
Yeah.
Because this guy who went on it kind of copped a
bad edit. Yeah.
And he was talking about how they interview you 6 months before, get you to answer a bunch of questions,
and they use it however they want.
And they use that however they want. So maybe maybe they ask you about, oh, how do you feel about this person you didn't like? And I didn't like her.
Yeah.
They use that clip from 6 months earlier in the show while you're having a converse or like in a bit.
Yep.
It's like so unbelievably edited. Apparently they like make whole conversations that didn't even happen.
Have you watched? There's a really funny video somewhere of, I think it's Married at First Sight as well. And they've pieced together a sentence. And when you listen to it knowing that they have, you can hear like...
Yeah, apparently it's
her tone is all
unbelievable
over
level.
the place,
I never
like,
liked Married at First Sight. So I haven't actually watched the show. But I didn't realize it was that level.
The editing of these shows is insane, yeah.
So that's what happens on social media.
I feel like I learned how much editing matters when I made that documentary video.
Oh, yeah.
Because you made a really good point when I sent it to you about not having parts where they're having fun. Where like they were laughing with us. Because when you took all that out, it was like so much more uncomfortable and like they had the terrible time.
Yeah.
When in reality, like they were laughing at certain parts and all this sort of thing. But that just got completely cut because it made it more...
Nathan for you vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I feel like I learned how much editing matters and I wasn't even like fucking with it that much.
Yeah, because I bet that happens in Nathan for you
tone.
as well. There's probably points where they're just actually having a comfortable conversation and they're laughing about something.
Yeah.
But they got that shit out.
Well, they have to make someone comfortable to make them do weird stuff like the people on the show do.
Yeah.
Because you don't just turn up and start. I mean, some people are that weird, but most people aren't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about the dangers. We're talking about what the kids need to be educated on and the parents.
Right.
Area under a curve, it don't matter no more.
Right.
We got calculators.
Forget it.
We got to save the world, Jackson.
Critical
We got to
thinking.
make the world better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this show is actually about, better. Here's our next 3 episodes we're thinking of doing, and we really need more suggestions in the comments.
Do you want me to say them?
Yeah.
Okay. Ice bath versus sauna. Number 2. Which number 2. This is what we're going to do for next week.
Next week is number 2.
Caffeine versus no caffeine. Jackson's going to try no caffeine. I'm going to try upping my caffeine levels.
Jordan, no joke, said he was going to do 2 cups of coffee to be ridiculous.
No, I did. I said 3, and then you
3.
were like, "You've got to do 4
I
because
think you
4
do have
is
to do 4.
the upper limit of fucking."
No, the upper limit's 5.5.
No, because when you type in, it says up. When you type in maximum amount of caffeine, it says 400 milligrams.
Yeah.
And that's about 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah, but if you're having like a double shot of coffee, which you're not.
No.
Yeah, because it said 60 to 150. I think that's what that is.
I don't want to be at the upper limits. That could be bad for my health. Because here's how they do science. They just get averages. What if I'm at the bottom?
And the other one's outside versus no outside. How does that one work?
No, they said someone spends their free time outside. The other person spends their free time inside. If you have any other suggestions for stuff,
we need about 6 more episodes probably
until the boys get back.
Yeah.
But we're locking in caffeine versus no caffeine
and
for
ice
next
bath
week.
and sauna we're going to do the week after. But after that, we're going to need some help and some
Yes.
suggestions.
For each other, would we recommend? We're all over the place this episode.
Yeah, we should do it. Yeah.
Should you have no social media?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. What a great episode.
Nailed it again.
Was I recording? Yeah, I was.